I tweeted, I tweeted about this the other day, and I was saying how I remember as a kid, um, my mom would being a Texan and from South Texas and all. I remember my mom would take me to the Mexican border and show me the kids that were under the bridge that connects Texas to Mexico back in the 90s. So it was around 1993 through like 1996. And my mom would take me to the Mexican border and we'd go into Mexico because back then it was no big deal. There was no hassle. You didn't need all the stuff you need nowadays. And she would take me over there just so I could appreciate what I had. And I'm not saying that I had very little or that I had a whole lot, but I had enough. I had more than what I guess your average person on this planet would hope for or could even fucking dream of growing up. But as a spoiled fucking American, uh, I remember that put things into perspective. Maybe not completely, being a fucking kid, but I remember I'd be at home. Again, this is like 93 through 96. So I must have been like 7, 8 years old, maybe a little younger, maybe a little older. And I'd be at home, you know, in Texas, in deep South Texas. And I'd bitch and complain and bitch and moan about, oh, I don't want that to eat, or I don't like these shoes, or I hate this shirt. I wanted that other Spider-Man shirt, or I want this new video game for the Nintendo or whatever the hell, right? And my mom she'd yell and rebuttal her rebuttal, or I guess because I was overly sometimes or just overly constantly being a nagging, annoying fucking cunt. I'll admit that. And I remember when she just couldn't stand it anymore, she would scream and be like, "Te voy a llevar pa Mexico," meaning I'm gonna take you to Mexico and I'm gonna show you those poor kids that don't even have shoes, a shirt, and they're begging for a dime, a dollar, a quarter, for anything. She'd be like, "Por mal agradecido," for not appreciating what you have. And those moments of when she would take me to the Mexican border and into Mexico, uh, it's something called Las Flores. Like imagine just like a strip, kind of like I guess like I don't know really what to call it. When they have parades and there's just that street, that long, straight, narrow street, then you have your buildings on the left, your buildings on the right, and the street just keeps on going. Well, Las Flores, which the translation I guess would be the flowers. Um, Las Flores was like that. It was kind of a place built for tourists in a way to go and spend their money there and try and help boost up the economy and stuff like that. But it's a long dirt road that goes on for quite a while. And to your left, you have your shops, you have your torterias, you have little shops that sell all kinds of stuff, piñatas, shirts. Um, it's like going into it's like crossbreeding a mall with the flea market, and they just have all kinds of stuff for sale. Because in Mexico, it's kind of just pretty much make money however you can, whenever you can. There's no rules. Ain't nothing illegal until you get caught. And so yeah, I just remember that as a youth, as a kid growing up, and how that taught me to be grateful for what I had. And if there's one thing that I remember being either like 11 or 10, maybe 12, around there, when I was a little older, I remember when I kind of proved to myself that I wasn't a spoiled, entitled bastard as much as I thought I was. When I remember at the time being raised just by my mom, and I somehow convinced her to buy me a PlayStation 1, like at a Walmart or Kmart or something. And after enough begging and begging and begging and begging, she finally bought me the PlayStation 1. And I remember just a few weeks later, I just noticed, and I could see it with my own eyes, how financially my mom was just having a lot of trouble, you know, whether it was paying the bills, food on the table, all that kind of stuff, the cost of living, shit like that. And I saw this and I noticed this and I was like, you know what, mom? Just return the PlayStation 1. Just get the money back. The time I take the rent for like $100 or I'm not too sure, $150. I'm not too sure. But I was like, just return the PlayStation. We need the money and just it's not a necessity. I don't think I used the word necessity as like an 11, 10-year old. But I remember doing that and kind of feeling a bit proud in a way. And years later, I'm like, man, I can't believe I actually was able to see that, was able to do that, and put my own, I don't know if you can call it greed, or put my own spoiled ass fucking necessities at the time, when you're a kid. I was able to put that aside and see that we were struggling and just return it. Return it. Just get the money back. Because we need that more than I need to be sitting in front of a television playing Spyro the Dragon or Metal Gear Solid Pizza Hut demo. And it was like, that's not, I felt guilty. I was like, that's just not, it's not cool. Just return the fucking thing, get the money back. True story, yeah.